Nervous.
It is 14 minutes now after the hour, and Allison Terrell and Sylacauga Police Chief Kelley Johnson joins us this morning for Daybreak Live. And Allison, good morning,
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
And Chief, same to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
What gets you out so early? I got to be beauty, right?
That's exactly correct.
Allison, let's talk a little bit about your initiative, Buckle Up Sylacauga.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Buckle Up Sylacauga is my social impact for the Miss Sylacauga circuit, and I wanted to do Buckle Up Sylacauga because recently there were tragedies that did happen in the community of Sylacauga, unfortunately, and I wanted to be the voice that steps out and talks about the dangers of not buckling up, and so I wanted to be the voice for the teenagers.
You know, Chief, all of us at one time or another probably had to deal with seatbelt issues and stuff like that, but it can save lives for sure.
That's exactly correct. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Allison, why specifically did you choose this initiative?
One of my dear friends on my softball team unfortunately passed away from a motor vehicle accident, and I mean, I don't know if she was wearing her seatbelt or not, but it's so important because it really does mean life or death, and I wanted to just be a single voice that lets people know that it's not okay to not wear your seatbelt.
Miss Teen Sylacauga, you're wearing that crown with pride, and with that comes a lot of I don't know if it's pressures or not, but opportunities to share how we can better live our lives.
Yes, and so that's actually one of the things that Miss Sylacauga and Miss Sylacauga's Outstanding Teens here for, is to speak out and to help people be better in their lives. So.
Chief, most of us now, we automatically buckle our seatbelts when we get in our vehicles, and that's something we should all do.
It should be the first thing that you do once you crank the car up, put your seatbelt on, and for the driver needs to make sure that all of his passengers wear the seatbelt. You know, just in 2019, they changed the seatbelt law. It used to be that only the front seat drivers or the front seat passengers had to have seatbelts on, but now everyone in the vehicle has to have a seatbelt on.
So why do those that don't, why don't they do their seatbelts?
I really think that it's I think that it's a trend maybe in the new generation, that they think that it's cool to not buckle up, but it's really not, because if you do get in an accident, that seatbelt could save your life, and if you're not wearing it because you think that it's cool, that's not cool. So.
Do you see a lot of kids?
I do, especially being in high school, and they just think that, oh, if I don't buckle my seatbelt because I'm going 2 miles down the road, that they think it's okay, but a lot could happen in those 2 miles that you're traveling. So it's super duper important to buckle your seatbelt.
Allison Terrell, who is Miss Teen Sylacauga, our guest this morning, along with Sylacauga Police Chief Kelley Johnson. And Chief, what is the police department doing to make sure people are practicing safe driving habits?
Well, we work with some grant money from the state, from the feds, through ADECA, and we have extra patrols out that are looking for. Everybody's heard of Click It or Ticket. You know, we participate in that initiative, and a lot of that is not just so that we can write tickets, it's so that we can educate the drivers that aren't wearing them. You were asking Allison about why do they not wear them. Well, we hear all kind of reasons. We hear, you know, it's uncomfortable, or it wrinkles my shirt, or you know, I've never worn it, I just don't want to wear it. So we try to educate, and you know, if you hit a pocket or two with a couple of citations, and you know, hopefully it makes them think the next time they get in the car.
Yeah, a lot of activity now with deer in our
That's
area,
right. Yeah.
and you know, wearing a seatbelt can save your life as well during that thing.
That's right. In the state of Alabama, 1 out of 10 car crashes involve an ejection, and that's due to them not wearing their seatbelt. 43% of the fatalities that happen in motor vehicle crashes are due to simply not wearing a seatbelt. So, you know, there's a lot of fatalities that happen across America, but you know, if people would just take that extra second, buckle up, be safe, and come home to your family.
Estimated
Absolutely.
15,000 lives were saved due to using seat belts. Millennials, I'm not
Yes.
one of those, but millennials have the lowest seatbelt usage rate out of any group. That's surprising to me a little bit.
Exactly. I think that's so weird because being like a part of that group, knowing that I do use my seatbelt, I think that it's kind of odd that other people don't use their seatbelt because it literally means life or death. And I think that using my platform, that I will be able to change that statistic and make sure that everyone's able to buckle up.
Yeah. Being a funeral home director and working closely with law enforcement, and I see this, and it just sends cold chills down my spine. Teens are the most risk of getting into an accident. Chief, we've seen that time and time again.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10 it's distracted driving.
Yeah.
There's all forms of distracted driving. People think just texting and driving, but it's anything from texting to using a GPS to turning up the radio to eating is probably one of the most common, is trying to eat while they drive. And you know, all of us distracted driving, and that causes a large number of our auto accidents.
Buckle Up Sylacauga is the theme and the initiative for Allison Terrell, who's Miss Teen Sylacauga, and you know, benefits of using a seatbelt are many.
Yes.
Including, Chief, we'll go back to you. It can save us in our wallet too, can it?
It can, yeah. Seatbelt ticket, you know, don't quote me on it. I think it's about $40, but it's not a lot of money. But you know, maybe you think about it the next time, and you buckle up the next time you get in your vehicle.
Yeah. How do you share with the millennial teens about the importance of buckling up?
Mostly I'm using Instagram to push out the message of buckling up because most millennials do use Instagram. And also in the new year, I'll be hopefully partnering with Toyota of Sylacauga to having a buckle up week at local schools so that I'll have, you know how they say no to drugs, I want to say yes to buckling up.
No, that's fantastic. Appreciate both of you being here with us this morning, and you know, especially with New Year's this weekend. And a lot of people are going to be out. A lot of people are going to be drinking this weekend. And when you mix drinking and driving and not buckling up, that's a recipe for disaster every
Absolutely.
time. What do you say to parents of kids that are going to be out and about this weekend about buckling up?
I think they need to keep a close check on them. As a teenager, I know how easily it is to be under the influence and how to be influenced from other peers. And I think that parents need to keep a close check and make sure they know exactly where they're going and exactly what they will be doing.
And Chief, I'm sure the police department will be out in force this weekend.
We'll be out in force as much as we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be out watching for it. They'll have checkpoints set up throughout town. You know, we just say we want you guys to be safe. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the New Year, the New Year's Eve celebration, but do it safely and buckle up.
And Allison, we leave it with you this morning. The importance of buckle up Sylacauga, and please don't use this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is one of the #1 things that distracts people from driving. And I've seen it with just my generation. They are so addicted to their phone because, I mean, I've been guilty of it a little bit before, but just put it down when you're driving because it's not needed, because it really could.
Have you always worn a seatbelt when driving?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always, even in the back seat, because it's not optional anymore. Even though when it was optional, I still chose to wear my seatbelt in the back seat.
And for Chief, small children and infants as well?
Yeah. The seatbelt rules for them are a little different than us, of course. You have anything from the child seat for the infants that have to face the rear of the vehicle. And then you have booster seats for kids up to, I think it's the age of 5. And then, they need to be around 4 feet 9 inches tall to be without a booster seat.
How can people find out more about your platform, Allison?
They can go to my Instagram. It's at MSYLOT_23. and I have a lot of different I have a lot of different facts on there just about buckling up.
All right. Hey, thank you both for being here this morning. Sylacauga Police Chief Kelley Johnson and Miss Teen Sylacauga Allison Terrell. And Buckle Up Sylacauga is our theme. Make sure you do that beginning this morning as you go out and get in your vehicle on a cold Wednesday morning. Buckle up for sure. More Daybreak coming up in just a minute.